Well, good morning, everyone. I'm KOIN 6 Meteorologist Kelley Bayern here in the KOIN Now digital booth, coming to you with a live stream and just an update on our wildfire potential this summer, a look at our current drought situation, how we're kind of shaping up going into one of the more important parts of the year here where wildfires tend to become more of a risk around the region. So let's start here with the drought monitor. Want to pull up what we're seeing so far in Oregon. You know, we should be so thankful that we've actually gotten rid of this drought that has been persistent the last handful of years here. So again, none of Oregon currently in a state of drought, not even abnormally dry. We again are seeing these conditions coming off of a fairly soggy March, and there were several months over the last 6 or so that brought us above normal rainfall. Take a look here at observed rain since October, and I chose October because that is the start of the new water year. So looking at October here, we saw below normal rain, still a good amount, over 3 inches. But we get to November and December, and we just saw surplus of rainfall. It again was drenching both of those winter months. January, a little below normal. If you remember, January we had like a 2-week stretch of pure sunshine and beautiful conditions. So it was a drier month than normal. February, March, though, lots of rainfall. We had a big atmospheric river in the middle of March that really helped to soak a lot of the region. So that plus heavy snowpack, all things that are very helpful and have helped to get rid of our drought status right now in Oregon. So we really are off to a good point, a positive note as we head our way into the drier and hotter parts of the year. Now, that doesn't mean we won't see wildfires sparking, but it just means we are in a safe spot right now, and hopefully we don't see any big fires, and they may have a harder time sparking just because our fuels out there aren't maybe dry enough. But take a look here at the fire potential outlook. This is from the Northwest Coordination Center, the NWCC, an agency that runs a lot of our fire forecasting for the state and the region. And you can see here on the map, this is the outlook for May of 2025 this year. And Oregon, Washington, a lot of the interior Northwest and the West Coast not expecting above normal fire danger. Now, again, that doesn't mean we won't see a big fire. Usually they are rare in the month of May, but areas of concern across the country are more so in the desert Southwest, areas like Arizona and New Mexico, where there is some more severe to exceptional drought, are kind of those target places where we could see some bigger wildfires starting. Take a look here. This is July's outlook. As we head into our summer, unfortunately, we do start to see that risk rise. Take a look at Washington and Oregon. Same for Northern California, the panhandle of Idaho, and also western Montana. Those are all heavily forested and brushy areas that are all at higher risk or above normal risk for significant wildfires. And again, that is pretty normal. We tend to see an uptick in fires getting into those hotter months of summer. Same for August, and even into September, we can see large wildfires across the region, not just in Oregon. So this will be something that we watch. We tend to also see that because the majority of our wildfires are actually caused by humans. And it's the time of the year when a lot of folks are heading out to go camping. They're heading out to central and eastern Oregon to recreate. And you get someone dragging a boat and the chains from their trailer spark fires easily. Someone throws out a cigarette butt, or someone leaves their campfire unattended or just not fully out when they leave their campsite. Those are all reasons that we see wildfires in the area that are caused by humans. So it's just, smart to start preparing now. Back in 2020, we saw one of the most devastating years of wildfires where we saw bigger timber fires. A lot of the times our wildfires in Oregon are in some of those brushy grassland areas in central and eastern Oregon. So they don't impact or affect many structures or people, but some years they really can. When we had massive Beachy Creek, all of the Lion's Head fire, those fires that were bigger timber fires in the Cascades, all something that we are watching for and hope that don't happen this summer fire season. So these are things that we'll be watching very closely. Again, it's still very early in the season, but nice to get that Outlook, where we are seeing, normal conditions out there, and we're seeing that rain and little drought across the state to hopefully put us in a positive trend and a better trend as we kickstart our drier months of the year. Now, looking outside, we've just been in a really calm pattern. There's your look at Oregon, not seeing any rain. The moisture is really limited around the region. It's all thanks to high pressure across the region. So here's our forecast for the coast today. It looks beautiful. We're expecting to see temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Calm winds out there. A look at the valley today will likely hit the upper 70s to lower 80s, maybe for some portions of the valley here. So kind of feeling like more of a June warmer afternoon. We tend to see the 80s more so in the month of June. We can in the month of May too, but yeah, we're running a lot warmer than normal at this point in the year here. A look back at recent temperatures in Portland the last couple of weeks. It's been very nice. Last week we had several days in the 70s to upper 70s. Our Easter weekend wasn't too bad either. We got a lot of sunshine. There was some rain to wrap up Easter Sunday across the evening time, but since then it's just been warming up for us. Yesterday we hit 73 degrees in Portland, so it's been beautiful here, and today will be another day to get outside and really enjoy that sunshine. So here's the weather pattern, kind of why we're seeing this setting up. There's a big ridge of high pressure over the region, and that has kept us dry. High pressure is a pattern that tends to drive sinking motion in the upper atmosphere. It limits clouds from forming. It tends to allow some warmer air to creep in from the south, and it blocks out a lot of storms too. Our jet stream is kind of pushing everything to the north and away from our area. So it's been very quiet. It's been very dry. Notice how this ridge of high pressure starts to shift eastward, and we start to pull in this trough of lower pressure. And I do see a surface low system too, or a storm that will impact areas of California and southern Oregon over the weekend. So there are some changes coming. Now, the changes will be kind of moderate. We're expecting a relatively cooler weekend. Temperatures will likely still hover in the low to mid 60s, and that will still feel very pleasant. Also, much of the rain that I'm seeing does stay in the southern parts of the state and maybe away from Portland. So aside from maybe a stray shower, we'll probably keep a pretty dry weekend, and with these temperatures in the 60s, feeling pretty pleasant. So we're going to watch these patterns very closely. It is still a bit uncertain on the rain, but I think it should be a mainly dry weekend, and there's nothing stopping you from planning those outdoor activities, maybe hitting the garden. Here's a look at the futurecast, and just want to show that low just offshore. It tracks towards areas of central California. Notice how we get a few of these showers kind of shifting north into areas of Oregon, but a lot of the rain will likely stay south of Portland as the system drops well to the south of us. If this were, coming in closer to the central Oregon coast, we'd probably be in some rain, but this low system is really dropping south of our area. So getting lucky this weekend. I think we will see a mainly dry weekend. And most forecasts also are seeing the same thing in terms of rain totals. Here's your look at the forecast rain total from today through Sunday, and notice how Portland is expecting next to nothing, even down to Salem and Eugene, maybe a few hundredths of an inch of rain. That kind of spells out a quick spotty shower, something that is pretty short-lived. That rain will back off quickly. Maybe a stray shower moves in, but we're not expecting any soggy conditions at all over the weekend. But don't be shocked if you get maybe just a quick few raindrops and then lots of moments over the weekend. That will be really nice to get outside. Most of the rain looks to be around the southern coastline, the southern counties of Oregon, also central and eastern Oregon to the desert plateau. Could see maybe anywhere from a quarter to 3/4 of an inch of rain. It could be quite rainy in some of those pockets of the state. But for us in northwest Oregon, getting pretty lucky. I think we will see mainly dry conditions again over the weekend. The coast could see drizzle here and there, but really not bad going into the weekend, even with these changes coming. So here's our model futurecast. This is just one model showing temperatures and rainfall. Going through today, we are looking pretty dry. We'll likely end somewhere in the upper 70s, maybe 80 degrees. We'll see a few high clouds shifting in, but it looks to be quite pleasant and warm. Now we get to Friday, and across the morning, there might be a few stray showers that could hit the central coast, but Portland still looking pretty dry here. And tomorrow should be also a pleasant day as we stay in the lower to mid 70s. Pretty warm out there, and we're mainly dry. So don't let these changes fool you into thinking this is just going to be a rainy, soggy weekend. I don't see that at all. I'm expecting to see maybe just a quick shower, and the rest of the time it's going to be pretty dry out there. So that's the case going into Saturday. Notice some of these showers that creep up into the foothills of the Cascades. Again, south of Clackamas County, maybe in the Central Valley and some of the foothills there, we could see some rainfall. If you're hiking, again, you might see some showers if you'll be out up in the mountains. But we're expecting pretty dry conditions here for much of the valley. That goes through Saturday afternoon. Beautiful day. Quick look here at your 7-day forecast. Again, in general, I'm going with a mainly dry weekend. And look at those temperatures. We're still going to sit in the 70s maybe until Saturday. So some beautiful conditions, even though we're saying goodbye to this glorious sun that we've had. We'll introduce a few more clouds, maybe a stray shower, but overall, pretty good weekend to get outside. I think I'm going to get to some gardening with some friends and start planting some vegetables out there. Again, we should see a nice weekend for all of those things. So thanks for tuning in. We'll keep our eyes on that fire forecast going into the hotter parts of the year. Also, just look at our spring weather here. We tend to still keep some showers around, but we've just been in this very dry pattern. So hope you have enjoyed the weather. Again, you can always watch me on KOIN across the morning hours. I'm on from 4:30 to about 9 o'clock on KOIN 6 and Portland's CW. So I'll be back with more forecasts, but have a great Thursday, and I'll catch you next time.